You went viral when you broke into tears telling Lil Durk not to retaliate in King Von's death.
You know, it was so emotional because Durk, he said, I need you to come here, right? He said, we could do it in Miami, whatever, but I need you to come here because I need you to talk to these. That's what he told me. He said, I need you to talk to him, Wallo. I need you to talk to him. I said, all right, I got him. And when I get there, I didn't know it was gonna be that many. It was like 100 of them. We in the basement in Chicago. It's 100 of them.
And them niggas, they ready to ride?
Yeah, no, they just was there, you know.
Okay, they wanted to hear what you wanted to say.
No, it wasn't even that. They didn't even know why they was there. Dirk was like, we gonna do it in the hood.
Okay.
I want you to holler at them, boom, boom,
Okay.
boom. So I'm like, I got you. When I got there, I'm like, he like, man, listen, I need you to holler at him. It just so happened that when I'm talking to him, I understand, because I'm talking to a couple of them on the side, and I understand that nothing is more important in the ghetto than revenge. Revenge is king.
Yes.
Closest thing to God. Because the black man is willing to die about his ego. The ego killed more black men than any other disease. Nothing killed black men more than the ego. That ego of, you hit me, Shannon, people saw it, I can't let you go. You got to die about this shit. And my mama raised me, so I grew up soft. I ain't had no structure of no father there. So I'm just emotional. So when I'm in there, I'm telling them, it was emotional for me because I'm letting them know, the man that killed my brother, I forgave him. Am I a coward? Am I a punk? Well, I don't know what that shit mean, but I knew that forgiving him mean that I was willing to live for my brother in an environment where we celebrate dying for somebody. I said, no, I'm gonna live for my brother, my grandma, my brother, kids, my mama. I'm gonna live for them because don't nobody talk about that. But I know that, I'm gonna just be straight up. I know that I'm not built to die right now because I know it's more things that I gotta do, and I know I got a responsibility. That was my older brother. You think what I'm saying? So It's like, I got to step up. I got to be a man. So I got to think as a man would think, not as a street would think, that would die about his ego and leave his babies, leave his mama, tear down the community about the ego. My ego wasn't built like that. I wasn't that strong to have that type of ego. I wasn't cut like that.
You mentioned that you had to forgive your brother's killer. How long did it take you? Because they say forgiveness is not for the person that wronged an individual. The forgiveness is for the person that's been wronged.
May came to see me. So my niece, she come to see me the week after her dad get killed. This the first time I meet this little, I'm telling you, she was like 4 or 5. She was like probably 4 or 5, but she was like 50. So when she came in there, she went around the visiting room, she jumped on my lap. She said, oh, when you come home, you're not leaving, you're not coming back, is you? I'm like, no, I'm not coming back. She said, I need you to take me here. She telling me all this stuff. And my nephew there too, I'm just talking to him. And I'm like, damn, somebody finally counting on me. Somebody looking at me in the way I never had nobody look at me. You see what I'm saying? In that way, my little brother, I was always in the penitentiary, so my little brother Jalal, we really didn't have the time. So I'm like, damn, this little person looking at me like that, she putting a lot of power and a lot of energy on me. And so I already had it in my mind because I'm gonna just tell you something. Shannon, I'm not built like that to go kill no black man. I'm not built like that. I'm not designed like that. I'm not tough like that. I'm not ruthless like that. I'm not heartless like that. That's just not me. And my worstest fear in the history of life, I don't give a fuck how I die. I don't care what happened. But if a black man kill me, you're gonna hear my scream until life ends for everybody. You're gonna hear my pain. My tears is gonna flood the ghettos of America. I don't care about nothing else. But don't let me go out like that. So I said to myself, I ain't built like that. Why I want you dead? Because I don't know, listen, I don't know what happened that night, why it happened. Only thing I know is my brother got shot. He ran to my grandma's house, he opened the door.
He died in the arms.
I ain't built like that to see nobody else go out like that. I ain't built like that. I ain't cut like that, Shannon. I ain't designed like that. Just because you hurt Nanny, I don't want to hurt your grandma. For what? If I hurt your grandma, when the shit gonna stop?
It's a continuous cycle. You said that by not retaliating, it gave you the freedom to spend time with your family?
When I got out of jail, right, I ain't have a lot, but I had everything. Because I remember something. Back in the day in the ghetto, we ain't had nothing, but we had each other, so we had everything. So I'm like, damn. I told her I was gonna take her to these places that I ain't even know I had to take her to them.
Right.
Cause I ain't know these places. I just was telling her, I'm in jail. She's like, you gonna take me here? Yeah, I know that. I'm just listening to her on the phone. I got you, I'm gonna take you there. So when I get there, I'm like, you ain't tell me this shit costs all this money. You know, I'm on a budget. I ain't know it said Five Below. I go in there, I spend $50. God damn. Yeah. They said Five Below. I'm thinking I'm gonna get a bunch of stuff for $5.
Right.
So she got me in there, Mom, don't be buying all that. I'm like, I got to. I just wanted to show up, not just financially. I wanted to show up mentally, emotionally. I wanted to show up for them. And that was my whole thing. So it was like, bang. That was all it was about, was living for them and being able to see them to see me, for me to be an example to my niece and nephew and them, and even for my grandma, like, boy, you could do something with yourself. Because I wanted to prove Nanny right. She always said, you special. But I'm like, special? What you mean? Why would I be special? I'm thinking she crazy, telling me I'm special. I live in the ghetto. I didn't know you could be special coming from the ghetto.
Durk said, this mofo really dropping tears for this ish. Do you feel like he heard what you were saying? Do you feel like the guy, not only did they listen, because a lot of times people listen to respond, but did they listen to understand what you were saying?
I hollered at a lot of them afterwards. Someone would call me. It's not about them listening, it's about conditioning. It's about environmental. You can listen to everything that I say, but a lot of time, as I'm still growing, I don't have the resources to remove you from the danger that you're up against every day. A lot of things these young brothers, they do here, they smart. A lot of them are smart. But their environment don't allow them to grow, because I can't move out of this environment right here. And I know them dudes down them block, they want to kill me. I got to protect myself. I want to kill. So it's deep. We tell these kids a lot of things. And all we do is criticize young black male every way possible. We criticize them as much as possible, but we don't bring no resources. You know how many people make money off of just criticizing us and talking down on not just us, it's black people. Mm-hmm. But they don't got no, okay, you criticizing us. You got all these gigantic platforms. What we doing is cool, Shannon, but they got huge media platforms where they just want to tear the people down in the black community, but they ain't coming up with no solution and they ain't bringing no funding. Mm-hmm. So I can tell these young brothers this, that, and the third, but they still got to take care of their baby, and they got to figure out the only way that they know. And in order to really take somebody to another level, you got to have time, energy, and resources to deprogram them so you can reprogram them. The programming was hit. The dehumanization of black people by black people was strong. This is some shit that we done. It started from when a little boy is young, and he playing on the swing, and he fall, he start crying. Boy, be tough, don't cry. We're taught to ignore and bury our emotions and our feelings and our vulnerability. That's not cool, that's not tough. So all that stuff right there is a real big programming that took place by us alone. So how do we come up out of that? It's gonna be deep, it's gonna take a lot.
How does one outgrow the environmental aspects, the constraints in which he or she is brought up in, if they're not removed from that environment? Because a fish is only going to get so big if the tank is not conducive for it to grow. A tree is only going to get so big if their environment is not conducive. So if you just put a tree in a tub, it's only going to get as big as the tub allows. Now, if you take that tree out of the tub and let it grow in a 50-acre field, it can grow, it can flourish. How difficult is it to reprogram? You said reprogram so I can program in the right aspect. How difficult is it to do that?
In the history of our community, the people that was able to do that, it was a few. Educational relocation is the greatest thing that happened to college. See, a lot of people talk, oh, you don't need college. Oh, we understand that you might come out and have bills, but college exposed you to other cultures. See, the hood lack exposure to the world. And a lot of times you don't never think about everybody that left. Mostly everybody that left, you never really see them come back because they meet other towns, they get relationships with people, and they go. They go and they see the world. They the ones that come back. Most of the time, them people that go and get the education, they're the strongholds of the family. They're the ones that the family count on. Call your uncle, call your aunt. She down there, she's a doctor, she's a lawyer, we gotta start educating ourselves, making sure the kids is educated, putting books in their hand over tablets. We gotta start there because I'm not gonna say we're at the point of no return, but some people is just stuck and they're using that as a badge of honor. Sometimes in our hood, ignorance is a badge of honor. It's a cool thing. Nobody wanna, we can't say that about, because anytime black people say things about black people, they ain't supposed to say that out loud or whatever. I don't know how that shit can.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's a badge of honor. Oh, I'm this. Think about it. We put on a pedestal the criminals. American way, the American way. At the end of the day, we love the successful criminal. We love Tony Soprano. We love Scarface. We love Michael Corleone. This is proof. The judge, the lawyer, the district attorney, the presidents, all them people, they love the movies. They going. So the programming is deep.
How difficult is it to really break a cycle when, you see a father that goes to jail, he had brothers that go to jail, and now you see a kid, the only thing that he knows is disruption, corruption. How difficult is that, Wallo?
I'm a product of generational incarceration. My stepfather, Hip, he was in Dallas Penitentiary in the 80s. Me and him were cellmates in Dallas Penitentiary by 1998. By 2005, me and my brother Steve was cellmates in Dallas Penitentiary. And there's a picture of me, it's inside of the book. Me, Hip, and Steve on a visit when I was a kid. And we all wound up being in that same prison. Wow. It's a cycle because prison is you gotta think about this. There's the ghettos of America build communities. And when I say the ghettos of America build communities, this is what happened. As we do so much crime in the inner cities of America, there are small towns in America, middle of Pennsylvania, middle of Ohio, middle of California, where, population is up. Then one day you just see this landfill, you see some construction workers come. And then a truck, these 18-wheelers come, bunch of them. And they start putting these new prisons together like Legos. Then a gas station, they build a gas station. Then a Walmart park up. Then a hotel pop up. We building communities. And I'm gonna tell you a story, deep one. It was this guard named Ski. I used to go back and forth with him on the tier. Because I used to always speak up because he'd go in people's cells when they in the yard and do checking. You ain't supposed to be nobody. I used to say little stuff. So we used to battle. One day, he set me down. I go to the bubble to get some legal mail, because when you get the legal mail, you got to sign for it. And he said something strong to me. I never forgot this. He said, "Come here, Peoples." That's my last name. I said, "What, man? What you want, man? I'm just signing for my mail." He said, "Look." He opened up his shirt, and between his shirt and his vest, because they had a stab-proof vest, he pulled out an envelope. The envelope was folded. He opened the envelope. It was a picture. He put the picture down. Says, "I'm signing for my what's name." He opened legal mail. I stopped. Before I leave, I stopped. He said, "You and the homies, man. You and the homies." Being sarcastic, using the word homie. "You and the homies took care of you. Thanks to you and the homies." I'm like, I looked at the picture. It was his son standing in front of a big house with a pickup truck and a big boat there. I said, "You and the homies got me that." Usually I have a little verbal spar with him, but he stuck me that day. I was wounded. So I just walked back to the cell and sat on the bed and I said, "Damn. Ain't me and none of the homies never bought our mom no house. We never sent our kids to college. But you know how many kids, you know how many homes and kids is going to college that me and the homies doing that. But it ain't going to our community. We taking care of families, we taking care of generational, because in prisons you have with nepotism. You got the warden. The warden brother is a security captain. His other brother is the lieutenant. His sister is the head of the medical. The other cousin is the head of the gymnasium. The other cousin is the activity director. The other cousin is the head of the workforce. You walk inside a prison, you see 15 family members that go home every day and 15 family members that don't. That's the prison system in America. So it's deep.
Right.
It's deep. And it's going to take a lot to break that.
Why is it that a lot of times that you see rappers and they rap about that and they've made money, millions, and they still go back to that culture? Why can't they let that go? Why can't they escape that one?
Because in the ghetto, everything is about ego. You got to prove to the dudes, the ops, or whoever they is. Everybody want to prove to the people that they are doing better than that they still real. You mean you real? You just bought your mama a house. That's real enough. But it got to be, you know, people want to prove that I ain't no chump. I ain't no turkey. Listen, let me tell you something, man. You just rap some songs, right? I'm talking about you went in the studio, rap some songs. You got that publishing money. You got the, you know, a bunch of money. It depends on how your deal structured. You got all that tour money. You got 10, 15 million in the bank. I think it's about time to start being a pussy, man. I think it's about time to start being a pussy. I'm just being real because, you know, I'm not the one designed and I'm not built like that to tell you some bullshit, Shannon, to say be tough. No, everybody else telling you to be tough. I'm not going to tell you that. I think because all the rich people, I don't think they trying to worry about what somebody's saying about them.
No.
From a neighborhood that's still trying to figure out life. So I think it's cool to not be that tough no more, man.
Master P said something last night on our live show. He said sometimes, man, people be trying to get you to trick off your position, like you in a great position, and they.
No. A lot of people foul out. They get you to crash out.
Yeah, because you said you told them that, look, you gonna finesse yourselves out of this position. Your family, like you got your family in a great situation, and you gonna let somebody finesse you out of it.
But what did I tell you early in the interview? The ego is the #1 killer of black man. It's the #1 finesser out of the position. Like, Shannon, how many people say some crazy stuff about you? Just imagine if you just, you know, if you just reacted to everything. A lot of times, it don't even be that people don't like you. It be that people can't get around you and utilize your resources and utilize you. A lot of people, you see them, you might see somebody say something on the joint. I know you got a memory. You be like, they'll see you, Shannon, what's up? You be like, why you say that stuff about me, man? No, man, I was just, no, man. A lot of people just be wanting to hug, Shannon. They just be wanting some love. They just be wanting to get embraced. And they don't know how to go about that. You utilize the proper channels to say, damn, Shannon, I'm trying to do something with you, man. At the time right, can I get on your show? Right. Or whatever it may be. People don't know how to do that.
Want to join Club Shay Shay? Become an official member by hitting that subscribe button, where you never know who's going to be joining us for drinks and conversation. Don't be late to the party because you know we like to do something before 2 something.